In the quiet village of Zubari, nestled in a valley of lush greenery and vibrant wildflowers, lived a girl named Naya. She was famed far and wide for her breathtaking beauty. Her skin gleamed like polished amber. Her hair cascaded down her back like waves of black silk, and her smile, though rare, could outshine the morning sun. Her presence commanded attention, and wherever she walked, heads turned, and whispers of admiration followed. But Naya's beauty masked a heart as cold as the stones lining the village river. Naya was known for her cruel demeanor. She mocked the poor, laughed at the misfortune of others, and treated her own family with disdain. Her parents, once proud of their beautiful daughter, now bore the weight of her meanness like a heavy yoke. One bustling market day, Naya passed through the crowd, her elegant dress swirling around her. Vendors called out their wares. Children laughed as they darted between stalls, and the aroma of freshly baked bread filled the air. As always, the villagers paused to admire her beauty, but the admiration quickly turned to unease as they braced themselves for her sharp tongue. Amid the lively market, an old woman appeared, hunched over her crooked staff. Her clothes were tattered, and her face, though withered, carried a kind smile. She approached Naya with her hand outstretched. "My child," the old woman said softly, "could you spare some coins for an old woman who hasn't eaten all day?" Naya's nose wrinkled as if she had smelled something unpleasant. "Get away from me, you filthy hag," she snapped. "I don't have time for beggars." Gasps rippled through the crowd as the old woman's smile faded. Straightening her back, she fixed Naya with piercing eyes that seemed to see into her very soul. "You are as cruel as you are beautiful," the old woman said, her voice resonating with power. "Your heart is blackened by vanity and selfishness. From this day forward, your outward beauty will reflect your inner ugliness. No matter how much you bathe or perfume yourself, you will stink like the foulest rotten egg until you learn the true meaning of love." Before Naya could respond, the old woman disappeared, leaving only silence and wide-eyed villagers behind. That evening, as Naya prepared for bed, a foul stench filled her room. It was as if a heap of rotting eggs had been dumped in her home. She screamed for her mother, who rushed in, only to recoil in horror, clutching her nose. The smell clung to Naya like a second skin, no matter how much she scrubbed. She bathed in scented oils, rubbed her skin raw with soap, and burnt fragrant herbs, but nothing worked. The stench persisted, growing worse with each passing day. Her parents were now at their wits' end. They begged healers, shamans, and priests for help, but every remedy failed. The villagers, who once admired Naya, now avoided her, covering their noses whenever she walked by. The smell became unbearable, even to her own family. Naya's younger siblings began to suffer constant stomach aches, their faces pale and drawn. The family's home, once a lively gathering place, became desolate as friends and neighbors stopped visiting. Her mother wept often, while her father, once a proud man, now walked with his head bowed in shame. Her parents built her a small hut at the edge of the family farm, far from their house, where she lived in isolation. Naya's heart, once hardened by vanity, began to crack under the weight of her isolation and guilt. She spent her nights crying, her tears soaking her pillow as she whispered desperate prayers to find the old woman who had cast her. Despite the stench, Naya's beauty was undeniable. Suitors from faraway villages continued to arrive, drawn by tales of her unmatched looks. They came bearing gifts of gold, livestock, and fine clothes. But each one left within minutes of meeting her, their faces twisted in disgust as they fled the unbearable smell. Some mocked her as they left, calling her the stinking goddess. Others tried to be polite, claiming they had urgent businesses elsewhere. Naya's heart shattered a little more with each rejection. One morning, while fetching water from the river, Naya met a young farmer named Ode. His hands were calloused from years of labor, and his clothes were simple, but his smile was warm and genuine. "Good morning," Ode said, his tone cheerful. "Beautiful day, isn't it?" Naya hesitated, clutching her veil tightly. You can stand the smell?" she asked, her voice trembling. Ode laughed. "I work with livestock every day. A little smell doesn't scare me. Besides, I see no reason to judge someone by something as fleeting as a scent." For the first time in years, Naya felt seen, not for her beauty, but for herself. Ode continued to visit her, bringing fresh fruits from his farm and sitting with her by the river. His kindness was a balm to her wounded heart. The villagers mocked Ode for his affection towards Naya, calling him the farmer who loves a stink. Yet, he bore their scorn with quiet dignity. "A person's worth is not their smell or looks," he would say. "It is in their hearts." Ode's unwavering kindness melted the last of Naya's bitterness. She began to see the world through his eyes, finding beauty in the simple acts of kindness she had once scorned. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Naya knelt by the river, her tears falling into the water. "Please," she whispered, "if you can hear me, I have changed. I have learned what it means to love and to be loved." The air grew still, and the old woman appeared, her staff tapping softly against the ground. "You have suffered greatly, Naya," she said, her voice softer than before. "And through that suffering, you have found love, not just in Ode, but within yourself. I now lift my curse." A cool breeze swept through the air, and the foul stench vanished. Naya's heart felt light, and for the first time in years, she smiled without pain. Naya and Ode married in a joyous celebration. Together, they transformed her heart into a home filled with laughter and kindness. Naya used her story to teach others the importance of humility and love, becoming a beacon of hope in the village she once scorned. The moral of this story is that true beauty shines from within. It is not our outward appearance, but the kindness in our hearts that defines us. Love, in its purest form, has the power to heal even the deepest wounds.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to support our channel, like, comment, and share. Bye.